Now, I would like to hand over meeting to Toastmaster Akash. He's a person behind Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club, a very passionate speaker, a delight to listen to. Over to you, Toastmaster Akash.
Thank you, Madam Sergeant. My fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing today? Great. Now, I will ask this, that what is service leadership? There are different leadership styles. There is authoritative leadership. There is bureaucratic leadership. There is altruistic leadership. But as a Toastmasters, we do believe in service leadership. Now, where does this idea of service leadership came from? There was a person who is with passengers. And that person was very fruitful. He used to sing, he used to dance, he used to make people cherish around him. He was on a journey. And it happened one day, that person vanished. And the people around thought that he was a thief. And that journey wasn't able to continue. Because that was the person who gathered. But one day, there was a person, he said, no, he cannot be a thief. He found him. And he used to find, and he found that the person who sponsored that dream, he was that person. He was the Sardar of that dream. And he asked him, that you are a king. Why you were dancing, you were singing with us, and you were doing service to us. And he said, that's my name. That's my name. So this is from where the idea of service comes. And as a Toastmasters, we do believe, and as a Toastmasters, we do believe in service leadership. So I would like to congratulate the winners of last meeting. And with this, let's have comments from the guests. So can you please introduce yourself? Do we have any business? Do we have any business?
Yes. We would like to open the session that we have on Sunday, the regular, regarding the education system.
When your motion is not complete, can you repeat that again?
Sorry, can we have the election contest on Sunday? All ready.
Still, it's not a motion. If you want to move, then you have to say that I move, we can hold a session on Saturday, on Sunday, about valuation process and everything. You have to say that I move.
I move the session of
Okay, do you have any second?
I second.
Okay. So anyone have any objection?
I need a bit.
Anyone have any objection on evaluation and table for a topic contest on Sunday, on coming Sunday? No. Fine. So your motion is accepted. With this, I would like to hand over the stage to a person who is very enthusiastic. With your huge round of applause, Toastmaster Daniel Ahmed.
Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Daniel Ahmed, and today I am the Toastmasters of the day. What all of you know, the theme of today's meeting is Alama Muhammad Iqbal. Does anyone wants to tell me who was Alama Muhammad Iqbal? Anyone? National poet. Dreamer. Dreamer. Great philosopher. Motivation. Alama Muhammad Iqbal was a scholar. He was a lawyer. And yes, he was a legendary poet. He saw the dream of Pakistan where we are sitting. If it wasn't for him, I don't think so. There would be around Toastmasters now. He was a great motivational point. He strived the young generations to do better. He strived boys like me to do better for themselves. Keeping our theme in mind, we will move forward to today's meeting. And in our Toastmasters meeting, we have three sessions. The first section is the table topic sessions. The second section is the prepared speeches, in which three prepared speakers will give their speech. And the last session, which is the evaluation session. And to run our meeting smoothly, we have some role players. Starting with the timer. Can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. My name is Mohammed Zahid. Today I will evaluate timing for the prepared speeches and evaluation. The speech is that each speech has different timing guideline in our meeting. As a timer, I will keep track of the timing this time for each segment of meeting as speeches. Time allowed for table topics speeches is 1 to 2 minutes. For prepared speeches is 5 to 7 minutes, and for evaluations 2 to 3 minutes. And for icebreaker speeches, time is allowed 4 to 6 minutes. And green card means that I will show the cards for times description. Green light means that one has the minimum times. Yellow light indicate the midpoint time. Red light means one time is up. Gray time is 30 seconds. Thank you, Toastmaster Daniel.
Thank you very much. Next, we have the Nagaru.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. My name is Misha, fellow Toastmaster in the English chat. I will we all come together to make notes good for using English language. Meaning, when called upon by Jimmy Value, I will do my course. There is a word of plea, and the word of plea is compassion, which means concerns on the spot of the other.
Everyone try to use word of the week in their speeches and when they come on stage. Next, we have the other counselor. So, please can introduce yourself.
My name is हैं लोग वही जहां में अच्छे, हैं लोग वही जहां में अच्छे, आते हैं जो काम दूसरों के। When I hear these lines, I mean only one Toastmaster, and that is Toastmaster Ravi Achari. She is the Toastmaster who is always helping everyone. Whenever you ask for help, she will not rest until you are satisfied. Toastmaster Ravi Achari, and the day I joined Toastmasters, I have seen her smiling till now. She is always smiling. She is a great Toastmaster. She will be conducting the table topic session. Please, over to you, Toastmaster Ravi Achari.
Thank you, Toastmaster Daniel, for such a heartwarming welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests, now is the time for the most exciting and spine-chilling session of the meeting. In this session, I'll call a speaker and he has to speak on his feet. Today, we will be having a little bit different session. I am logged on from 2 devices. As you can see, I'm logged on from this one, and I'm logged on from this one. See, I have story cubes, and these are 9 dices. See, I hope you can see that.
Yes.
Okay, I'll roll these dices, and every speaker has to come up with a story from the figures that are drawn on the dices. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, you are.
Should I proceed?
Yes.
Wonderful. So I would, thank you. So for first speaker, I would like to call, I'll roll these dices. So here are they. And for this, I would like to call Toastmaster Zubair.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravi. This session is very tough session. Let me try. You have to choose one. Yeah. Okay. I believe things are right. I chose like
Sorry, I'm not, I can't understand you.
Can you ask her to?
Toastmaster Ravi, people didn't understand what you are trying to convey. So can you repeat what is your theme of table topics?
Sir, my theme is storytelling, and these are little device. This is kind of a device. See?
Okay.
Hmm?
Okay. So
For this, you can come. You can.
table topics, speaker has to choose one, or he has to develop a story.
No, he can come up with a story using these like help like fish, fountain. It was night. It was fountain. There was fish, and things like that. And then he can come up with a story basic around these dice.
Hi guys. What do you think about these items when you see first time? Let me tell you. These are items for indications. We are also using our traffic signals, signals indications signs. These are same as if we are placing some lights on a site, on a specific area of room, then we can place the light item on that areas. Then we can understand in these areas all the lights are settled down here. When we use the L sign, you also see the L sign behind the vehicle when we are trying to learn driving. I think so these icon shows us the purpose of the purpose of indication signs which we should follow them. These are the indication signs. I am also looking one flash sign. We are also see our camera sign where flash icon sign is we can turn off, turn on. This is turn on sign for camera. These are the icon for indications. The subject of this story. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zubair, for coming up with a wonderful story. Now I am reading them again. So this is the next thing. For this, I would like to call Toastmaster Salman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rabia. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, here we have 9 dices. Few days ago, I went to market and buy these dices for my daughter. And what was the good thing regarding these dices? There were small figures of these dice. We went home and we had a small session with my daughter, and I said, look at these figures. I will tell you about these for first time, and then I will ask you to repeat it after me. We did it for 3 times, and then eventually what happened? Any guesses? She was able to understand what were the figures on these dice. I picked up one and she responded correctly. So this was a session with my daughter. And I hope that you can use it at your home as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Salman. So this is the next set. For this, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Abdul Aziz.
Thank you, Nadia, and my fellow Toastmasters. The topic given. Different pictures. One is the fish, and the other one is the clock. The clock, I think we can use to do our time management and follow the 5 clock. And then the key, I think if we manage the time, that can become key to our success. And then there's an apple. If we eat an apple today, that keeps the doctor away.
Thank you, sir. Yes, we should eat an apple a day. Daniel, I can see your hand. So this is the next set, and this is for Toastmaster Daniel.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me make a story out of these. Let's start. Let's start with that I'm a magician. And yes, I'm a fish magician. Right now, I will make a fish. And I will make a fish without making mistakes. I will be smiling the whole time. Where is my fish? You all must be wondering. Where is my fish? You must be wondering. I'm sorry, it doesn't show even by that fish. Explain it to me. No, my fish is in that tree. What is the time? What are you planning? Okay. No, this picture is related to each other. How can I? The fish is moving the plane, and it is going to. It is coming to Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club. You have enough to wait, and then magically appear. And yes, my time, the green part, is here. Rawalpindi Toastmasters again. Very nice.
Well done, Toastmaster Daniel. I hope this fish becomes DTM one day. So this is the next set. For this, I would like to call Toastmaster Michelle.
Once upon a time, I was walking back home, and with every footprint, I was looking around, and I saw some tall buildings. And with the buildings, I was wondering how magical these buildings are with all the lights shining in the dark. And with that, I was hoping that when I get back home, I'm going to create the same magic without covering or without facing any troubles of the future, as I have been stabbed with arrows, but something promised a new life. And on the radio, as I was walking back home, there was a song about a dice, which made me feel more lively and made the night more magical as I was walking back.
Wonderful, Toastmaster Michelle. Here's the next set. For this, I would like to call Toastmaster Shoaib.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rabia, for calling on the stage. After seeing the dice, the first thing that comes into my mind is it's a light, it's a bulb. So it being an electrical engineer, so we were taught about the Thomas Edison that he tried 1,000 times before he developed the bulb. So it gives me a motivation, and that's how he went through to ultimately achieve his dream. The second thing that I see is an eye. So which is a great blessing. If you see for the people who are blind, so it's, I was just reading a quote where it was saying that who is more unfortunate, the people having a eye but don't have a vision. So that really that already intrigued me. The third thing that I see is as a magnifier. So being a science student, so I had spent a lot of time in the magnifier, even in the school laboratory, in the college, or even the university. And the fourth thing which I see is the cover. Because it's a cover, and this we call this broken movie. So thank you, Toastmaster again.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shrey, for a wonderful take. For this, I would like. This is the next set. For this, I would like to call the guest. Sorry, I couldn't hear your name. Sitting behind Toastmaster Michelle. Thank you. So you can take up one dice and talk about it, like a shooting star or a torch, falling footsteps, flowers, arrow, it's a mask, wand, dice, and a web. You can talk about one thing, or you can just come up with a story.
Then it is less like I will take a torch and I'll try to avoid getting hit by the arrows. And for a nice day, look how to go in the park and see some plants. Sometimes I would like to play with my kids and show them some magic. That's why be careful when I see someone in mask.
Thank you, guys. So, now this is the next set. For this, I would like to call Toastmaster Ataf.
Yes.
Oh, Ataf.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rabia, for coming up with such a unique and very tough idea. Every time you want to dance, it's like someone is holding me. And every time when someone is setting me up, I'm coming up with some new faces. I'm coming up with some new ideas. And here, if I talk about these dices, so I can see Apple as I'm a fitness enthusiast, so of course, Apple is my love. I always have 2 apples a day, keep 2 doctors away. And then one of my favorite is sheep, I guess. And of course, being a Bollywood guy, eating Chinwari, I'm a big Chinwari lover. So thank you very much for giving me that choice. And after that, I see a face, and we all cover our faces. We all cover our sad faces inside us and show our happy faces to the audience. So this is something which is really interesting. And after that, I see a message. And we all are fond of message. We do WhatsApp, we do Viber, we do a lot of texting. So that is something which is really interesting. And thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan. Now is another set. Here it is. For this, I would like to call Toastmaster Meher.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rabia. Since I joined late, could you just briefly tell me, I have to talk about the pictures?
Yes, Toastmaster Meher, you can talk about the pictures, or you can come up with the pictures, with the story.
With a story related to the pictures.
Relating to these pics, to these pictures.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Rabia. This is a very innovative way of exploring our minds and our creativity. I see a moon and a star. And to be honest, the first thing that I think of when I see a moon and a star is the wonderful nursery rhyme, "And the dish ran away with the spoon," which starts as, I was just reciting it to my niece the other day. The cow jumped over the moon. And the star reminds me of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And I suppose the reason why I'm remembering nursery rhymes is because of the great gift that is in our lives at this moment. My new niece, the first grandchild of our family. And it seems that everything and anything I can think about is related to babies and innocence and angels and flowers and dreams and just watching her grow and watching her discover the world for herself. I'm sorry, I lost the picture.
Sorry, there's an issue with it here. I hope it's.
Yes, I can see it again. And of course, there is a sheep there and an airplane and a keyhole. And to me, very interestingly, it just means, oh, today I was trying to put her to sleep, trying to sing her to sleep, because the plane reminds me of the fact that she lives so far away in Australia, and I have not even been able to hug her yet or smell her baby scent. And it is sometimes so difficult to keep yourself from feeling that lack of human touch with a child that you love like your own. And the sheep just reminds me of how we keep trying to put her to sleep in nice ways. Today I sang her a song. Tomorrow I will count sheep with her. I'll remember to do that. And the turtle also reminds me of the stories that I have to tell her about the hare and the tortoise and how it's okay not to be fast, but the main point is to get to the destination and not to stumble along the way. The keyhole reminds me that we still have as yet to solve the COVID problem so that flights can be resumed and I can go to Australia or she can come visit me. And I believe it's a compass. Yes, definitely. I keep the compass of my heart is facing southward, down under. And the alien face reminds me that, yes, I would be pretty much an alien going to any foreign country if I would not be ready for their culture. And yes, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you. This was really, really exciting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meher, for coming up with some. I hope and pray that you go to your niece and be with them.
Thank you.
So here is the next set. For yes, for this I would like to call Toastmaster Atif.
Toastmasters and respected guests. Toastmaster Rabia for such an innovative way of table knowledge. So the moon tells me that it's night time. So basically, at one night I was feeling very hungry, and so I went to the fridge to get an apple, but there was no apple. So I decided that I would get some fish, but there was no fish. So I picked up my phone and I called Toastmaster Akash. I asked him if there was any fish in his house. And he hit me with an arrow because I had disturbed him at night. And that I was very confused, so that's a question mark. And so I closed my eyes and went back to sleep again. Right.
Wonderful, Toastmaster Atif. Yes, if you disturb anyone at night, he will definitely do something dangerous. Should I proceed or?
Toastmaster updates 5:15, so we should. I think we should proceed for the networking week, and
as Toastmaster of the evening.
Michael, sorry, yes, sorry.
Yes, I'm saying that we should proceed to the next.
Now I would like to hand over meeting to Toastmaster. Sorry?
Brother.
Thank you. Are all the speakers qualified?
Yes. All speakers are qualified except to Abdul Aziz and Adil.
And you name the speakers that are qualified?
Muhammad Zubair, Salman, Dania, Vishal, Trey, guest, Hassan,
Guest name, what's guest name?
sorry, Umar. Yes, our guest Umar, Hassan, Meher.
Please everyone vote for reporting slip that I gave you. And write it anywhere and there on the name.
And the virtual audience can vote in the chat box.
If you want, I can repeat the speaker's name. Toastmaster Bear, Toastmaster Samar, Toastmaster Dayan, Toastmaster Vishal, Toastmaster Fred, Toastmaster Umar, Toastmaster Hassan, Toastmaster Meher. And we will have a networking break, so everyone can have a little.
We have a 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
In the back of the
Yeah.
Everyone, please settle down.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever sat down lazy? You don't want to get out of your bed. There's something stopping you to not do your work.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like that most of the times. But whenever I feel like that, I lay down in my bed, put on my headphones, and I listen to any one point of alarm or big boss. Any point. And believe me, after that point finishes, I want to get up. I want to try harder. I want to go to the next level. And I'm not bluffing. I'm serious about this. The way he motivates the youth in his points in his quality, you will be amazed. And I'm sure many of you have listened to Rahmat Baal's points. Our next session is a very interesting session in which we will have prepared speakers. First speaker is an electrical engineer. He will be delivering the project one, level one today. He has been working with JAS for his 10th months as a radio engineer. Please welcome Toastmasters with a big round of applause.
Thank you, Toastmasters Danyal, for such a nice and warm welcome. Today, I would like to share experience which had a profound impact on my life. It was a time when I was back in university and I was taking calculus class. So everything was going good and fine, and I will tell you that I was great at calculus. So then the teacher posed a question, and he just looked in the class from left to right, top to bottom, that who is going to solve that problem. So suddenly he pointed out at me, and at that moment, the biggest fear of my life came into reality. So in fact, the question wasn't too hard, but I was too overwhelmed with the phobia to face such a large audience. So in the start, I felt nervous, and as it went to face the class with a shaky leg. So I just gave up, and I couldn't solve that problem. So ultimately, when I got back to my seat with disappointment and anger. So at the time when I was lying on my bed at the night, so I realized what happened to me. So I reflected all the incident that happened to me. So I decided to work on it and to turn the biggest failure into the biggest achievement. So I turned on my system and Google that how we can improve our communication and leadership skills. So the first thing I just found multiple things on the internet. The first thing that came is just to doing a course on Coursera and LinkedIn. So that sounds good. Secondly, the second step that came is to install an ORI app, record the speech, and it will tell you about the umps and R counter, and will assess your energy level. That intrigued me too. But the third thing that really hit to me was the Toastmaster Club. But at that time, being on boarding school, so I wasn't able to join Toastmaster because it wasn't feasible for me to visit Islamabad every weekend. So I discussed this idea with my friend, and I discussed about Toastmaster. The thing that intrigued me is the table topic session. So I discussed with my friend that let's start this activity on daily basis, and it will help on field thinking. So we did this on daily basis, and the result was phenomenal after 1 month. So after graduation, I decided that I need to improve my communication skills and to speak in front of a large audience. So I decided to join Toastmaster. But right after graduation, I got off into the gym, and then COVID started. So I didn't join Toastmaster because of the online, and I just waited till the COVID over. It's not too over, but and just a 1% meeting. So along this, I would like to ask myself to develop a art of storytelling, which will enhance my interpersonal skills and which will create a positive impact on my personal and professional life. And ultimately, I'll be the better version of myself. With this, I'm expecting expedient growth with this platform, and I see a wonderful journey with you guys. And with this, I would like to call PM Danyal and hand over the floor to him. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak on this platform.
As speech, I would like to dedicate some of the Ramayana balls lines to you that are तू शाही है परवाज़ है काम तेरा तू शाही है परवाज़ है काम तेरा तेरे सामने आसमां और भी है. Moving forward, खुदी पुकार बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदी पुकार बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से कुछ पूछे बता देगी रज़ा क्या है. And you will understand when I will call out the next speaker that why I said these lines. He's a tall, handsome, great Toastmaster. He's one of my great friends. He's on weekly memberships. Please welcome Toastmaster Hassan Akram.
Thank you, Dayal, for such a warm welcome. Are you a leader? Are you a leader? Are you a leader? Or leader is someone who is wearing fancy clothes? Or a leader is someone who's getting better study practice than yours? Or a leader is someone who has a higher rank than you? Ladies and gentlemen, these are all old school thoughts. The question is, who's the leader? Anyone from the audience? Who's the leader? Right. So a leader is a person who sees the potential in you, unlocks it, and make you do wonders. So I'm here to share a story of my personal life. When I joined this Toastmasters Club back in March, I'm super excited that I'm going to be a member of a great club, and I'm going to practice my public speaking skills and become a great speaker. So, as you all know, being a member of the Toastmasters Club, we have to perform certain roles. So I have given few roles which I perform really well. So one is the president of the club, Mr. Akash Kumar, called me and said, "Hi Wilson, how are you?" I said, "I'm fine, thank you." Next to remember his first line, he said, "Hassan, I'm really impressed." I said, "Okay, but why? Why are you impressed? I'm just a normal person." He said, "No, I'm really impressed." I asked the reason, he said, "You are performing really well. You are a great induction in our club. And I can see a potential. Being a leader, I can see a potential because you are the only person who is bringing guests to the meeting every single day." I was like, okay. So being a leader, he saw a spark in me, he unlocked it, and he appointed me as a VP member with the lady at that time, which was Jaya. So I helped her, and we have new faces at that time. So Akash, being a leader, he saw something in me, he approached me, he made me realize that I can do wonders. And now I'm doing membership, and you can see we have a lot of beautiful faces in every meeting. So that is the power of the leader, that he see a spark in you and make you realize that you can do wonders. Leadership comes with different styles. The first style which I'm going to talk about is the democratic style. In democratic leadership style, the leader basically helps his subordinates or asks his subordinates about the decision which he's going to make. It's a two-way communication. It's not one, it's two-way communication. So he interacts with them, he makes sure that whatever he's going to deliver, or whatever he's going to take a decision, he will actually take their input. The second leadership style, which I'm going to talk about, is autocratic. The autocratic leadership style is authoritative leadership style. Can anyone give me any famous example of a person who has got autocratic leadership style? Yes, that's the way. So in this leadership style, the leader won't ask for the subordinate's opinion. Whatever he's going to impose, he just imposes it, and you have to follow it. So there is no room for the discussion, you just have to follow. And this rule is being applied everywhere in corporate world, and people that are not a part of the discussion and in the managers or the team would impose. The third leadership style, which is very interesting, and that is laissez-faire style. The laissez-faire is a French word which means free hand, which means in this kind of leadership style, you are free to do anything. So in this kind of leadership style, leader is like a link who connects different people. And in this kind of leadership style, you are given a free hand. If you want to work from home, you can do that. If you want to work from office, you can do that. The thing which leader is concerned about are the results. You can do anything, but you everybody have to get results. And this kind of leadership style is basically more practical when you have a startup, where you have very good staff and you only have to, just give them guidelines and they know what they have to do. You only need the results. The fourth leadership style, which is very close to my heart, and that is the transformational leadership style. In transformational leadership style, as the name suggests, you transform people. So in this kind of leadership style, the leader see a spark in the person and make them realize that you can do it and transform it. So the leader of us is also like smart, the same leadership style, and he transform people, see the spark in them, and make them realize that they can do wonders. So for this project, I have to do some research, and I have to go through some tests, and I found out that my leadership style is the transformation. When I was working in a company back in 2010, which is called Stretch Members, I was a team lead for a group of 5 sales and 5 support team. And at that time, my motivation was people sitting in front of me. I want to add something extra to their plate when they leave this company. Because whatever they have learned, they get a job on the basis of those skills. But my job as a leader is to help them, to motivate them, and to make them realize that they can do wonders with their life. Leadership is like a baby. You nurture it, you get involved, and that's the beauty. You do wonders. Thank you.
Our next speaker for you, Imam Muhammad Iqbal said, मोहब्बत मुझे उन जवानों से है, मोहब्बत मुझे उन जवानों से है, सितारों पर डालते हैं जो कमान. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is the one who always strives for the next level. He's always working hard. He never settles for less. He's always improving. In the way I have joined Toastmasters, he has been helping me every time. Please welcome with a big round of applause, Toastmaster Hamza Shahid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Daniel. Ladies and gentlemen, what is public relations? Let's focus on the 2 words, public and relations. Simply, it is about having relations with the public. Now, public relations is a way to communicate for an organization with the people outside the organization. The main purpose of an organization is to promote its products and services, and public relations is the way to do that. Now, there are 2 types of public relations, modern and conventional. Since we are in the modern age, and due to the crunch time we have, I mostly focus on the modern type of public relations, which is mostly dealing with different types of social media platforms. Now, ladies and gentlemen, whenever a person starts a company, a business, or an organization, what is the first thing they do? Anyone? Marketing. Well, kind of. The first thing that a company always does is make a Facebook page. A Facebook page is a perfect way to incorporate all of the information about the organization into one confined space. When a person searches something similar to the organization, their organization pops up in the search bar. When they visit their page and they can see all the promotional content, all the media, all the important pieces of information related to that organization in one place. Now, making a Facebook page isn't the only thing you have to do. You have to update it. You have to operate it in an efficient manner. Now, let's take our own example. Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club has a page on Facebook. And I might be complimenting my own self, but we have it well updated, we have it well run. We upload posts, or we upload 3 to 4 posts on a weekly basis, which includes meeting announcements, meeting winners, and other information about our events. Now, what is the one most important skill needed to have a footprint on any social media? That is graphic designing. Now, graphic designing allows you to create your own promotional content, to create your own posters, your own business cards, your own invitations. So when I tell people in my own circle to learn about graphic designing, they have a misconception that you only need to learn graphic designing if you want to pursue it as a professional career, or you want to do freelancing in it or a part-time job in it. But that is not the case. Graphic designing can help you in your daily lives, in any kind of social activity. For example, I learned graphic designing in the summer after my second year of university. And that is helping me right now in the post of Vice President Public Relations. In the beginning, I learned Adobe Illustrator, which was very complicated, but still it set my roots in a brilliant manner. Then my mentor, Akash Kumar, told me about other software such as Poster My Wall, Word, Canva, which were very simpler to use, and they allowed me to create posters in a shorter span of time. Now, many people stop there. They start a business, they create a Facebook page, and then they lay back. But you can do a lot more things. There are so many other social media platforms that are untapped potential, and one of them is Instagram. Lately, Instagram is gaining far more popularity as compared to Facebook. Celebrities and the majority of youth nowadays post their photos on Instagram rather than Facebook. The reason for that is Instagram is a completely graphical and picture-based platform. When you open an Instagram page, all of the photos are available to you in a grid form, and you can easily know all the information through two or three scrolls. But if you go to Facebook page, you have to scroll past some useless information in the beginning, then you move on to the previous posts. So Instagram is far more popular for that reason. Now, the next thing is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very professional platform, so not every type of organization can fit in there. For example, our organization, the Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club, is dedicated to improving your leadership and communication skills. So we do align ourselves with LinkedIn. However, if you have a business related to leather bags or shoes, LinkedIn might not be the best place for you. The next thing is YouTube. Now, YouTube is something that requires a lot of effort. You have to create videos, which itself is a very hard thing to do, but it does pay off if you do it in a good manner. For example, Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club has a YouTube page where we upload promotional videos and even recording fun Zoom sessions. And it has benefited us a lot. Now, the final thing is stories. Whether it's Snapchat or Instagram, stories are a magnificent way to create mini public strategies or mini promotional content. You create a 5 to 10 second long story, the people see that, and you include a link which takes you back to the original page, which has much more detailed information. Now, for all of that which I mentioned previously, it's all great if you want to be above average. But if you want to go miles ahead of the competition, you have to do two very important things. The first is paid promotions. We all know what paid promotions are. We pay the social media platform a small fee, and in exchange, they're responsible for bringing traffic to your page. Now, this traffic isn't natural. Of course, it is paid traffic, but they use such powerful algorithms that the people that bring to your page are people that are interested in organizations similar to yours. So it does benefit you a lot. The second thing is SEO, or search engine optimization. Now, you must have heard about this term a lot. Many companies are hiring SEO specialists because they know that they can benefit their organization. Now, SEO is a very technical concept, but I'll try to make it simple. Suppose you go to Google, you search something. About 10 results pop up on the first screen. When's the last time you actually went to the second screen? Never. You only stay on the first screen, you click something from those 10 results, and you move on. SEO allows you to take your website to the first page so that the person sees your website straight away. That is SEO. Ladies and gentlemen, these were the public relations strategies that you can use to grow your business, to improve the performance of your business, and to share your content with the world. If you have a social media presence in these platforms, you are well above the average. But if you follow the 2 steps that I told you in the end, which is SEO and paid promotions, you can go miles ahead of the competition. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the timers are all the speakers qualified?
Yes, obviously, speakers are qualified.
So let us partners and guests, please vote for the best speaker. The speakers were Toastmaster Shweb, Toastmaster Hassan Akram, and Toastmaster Hamza Shahid. Please vote for the best speaker. Everyone can hand it over to Toastmaster Hamza. Moving on. मंजिल से आगे बढ़कर मंजिल तलाश कर मंजिल से आगे बढ़कर मंजिल तलाश कर मिल जाए तुझको दरिया समंदर तलाश कर Ladies and gentlemen, these amazing lines of Alana Iqbal these amazing lines of Alana Iqbal tells us to strive harder, to improve ourselves daily. And for that, we have our great evaluation session. Our general evaluation for today is an amazing Toastmaster. The elegance in his voice is the thing that I strive for. I'm inspired by him in every meeting. He works for a private company. He's an amazing Toastmasters. General evaluator, please welcome with a big round of applause, Toastmaster Salman.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I will be general evaluator of today's meeting. This is one of the important sessions in which we have 3 different parts. The first part will be around the evaluations of the speakers, in which we have development session, and then the prepared speakers who will be evaluated by our amazing evaluators. And then the second part would be the reports from our role players. And then the last part would be evaluation of the whole meeting in general. So this was a bit about this session. Now moving on to the first evaluation. And for this, I would like to call Toastmaster Rashid, who will be evaluating the Toastmasters 7 topic session of today's meeting. Toastmaster Rashid. Yes.
Distinguished guests and fellow Toastmasters, we had a wonderful table topic session today with TM Rabia, very creative and very innovative session. Our first speaker, table topic speaker was TM Zubair. He was quite confident, though he was the starter in the sense that he had to face complex situations because it was difficult to understand what the game actually meant. However, wonderful. But he needs to use stage more. After him, we had TM Salman. He is our experienced Toastmaster now. Wonderful use of stage by him and good fluency of the language. But he still needs to use vocabulary still more. PM Abdul Aziz used quotes wonderfully, and his diction is also very good. But he needs to take care of time. After him, we have PM Daniel. Wonderful speech, very humorous, very fluent. But I think he needed to engage audience still more. After him, we had PM Michelle, very imaginative, wonderful pronunciation by her, but she needed to look at audience more than she had. After her, we had PM Schwab. He recognized the icons well, and he is becoming fluent. But he had pockets in his, he had hands in his pockets. So you need to open up a little bit. We had guest Omar after him, and he speaks very good English and he is confident, but he still needs to be imaginative. After him, we had TM Hassan, wonderful gestures and body language, and humorous, wonderful. But he also needed to look at the cards, and you should have given the time. After him, we had TM Meher, a very experienced Toastmaster, our club, quite imaginative and with wonderful pronunciation, but she can improve her vocal variety. After her, we have TM Atif. He made wonderful use of icons. I think he related more icons than anybody else. He connected them so well, so very well. So humorous, also very much humorous, but he needs to use stage more. So what we had a wonderful table topics in the session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rajan, for amazing feedback and your inputs. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, this is a session in which we learn from each other, we lift each other through our evaluation, feedback, and other inputs by our evaluators. Now, moving on to evaluations of the prepared speeches. We had wonderful speakers deliver their speeches on their certain topics. The first speaker was Toastmaster Shuaib, who has delivered his icebreaker. So for his speech evaluation, I would like to call Toastmaster, one of our amazing Toastmaster artists.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Toastmaster Shuaib for giving this message. First of all, congratulations to Toastmaster Shuaib, and I was really surprised by your stage presence. Mostly when it's the first speech, people are jittery, they're shaking, even their voice shakes a lot, but you have a very relaxed stage presence. And you were moving a lot and even I have trouble doing that. So really, that was really brilliant. Your speech your presence reminds me somewhat of Obama.
He has a very relaxed and likable presence on stage, and you also have that. Very good eye contact, very good stage presence. Your grip on the English language is brilliant. And another thing that intrigued me about you was you started with a story that is very relatable. All of us can relate to being a little nervous during our icebreaker and why we joined Toastmasters. All of us joined Toastmasters to overcome fear. And you had the exact same story, and it was very relatable to everyone. So really kudos on starting with a story that everyone can relate to. With that, of course, there are going to be some negative points which you can improve. I'll try to be easy on you because it's your first meet, of course. First of all, your speech lacked a little structure. You immediately went into the story, and even the ending was abrupt. Maybe you can start with a question that do you want to hear about my story of joining Toastmasters? Just to get a grip on the audience. And second, your tone was very casual, which is a good thing for icebreakers, I guess. But in your next speech, make it more like a speech than a casual conversation. Use quotes, use questions. Your pathway is presentation mastery, so you have to perform more. That brings me to my next point. More expressions, like when you're talking about fear of your first public speaking, when your teacher called you, you could show a little fear, and when your legs were shaking, you could perform that. I myself struggle with that, but Toastmaster Daniel, Toastmaster Akash are brilliant examples of that. You can learn from them as well. So with that, I would just sum up. Your stage presence is very likable, very relaxed. You're very confident, good eye contact. But improve your structure for the next speech, make it more a speech than a casual conversation, and make it more of a performance. Start with some quotes, end with some quotes, and perform whenever there's expression or a story. Like you were saying, you need to be better at storytelling, you need to perform more your stories. And with that, I would again like to congratulate you. That was a brilliant speech, and I see a very bright future for you as a public speaker.
Feedback. The second prepared speaker was Toastmaster Asadendra. And to evaluate his speech, let me invite Toastmaster, one of the amazing and, as Rajat said, very experienced Toastmaster Meher Tanveer. Over to you, Toastmaster Meher Tanveer.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Salman, for that wonderful introduction. I wouldn't really count myself as very experienced. I am just a student myself, just been here in Toastmasters for a year, but Alhamdulillah, it has been a wonderful learning experience. And whatever I can share, I will try to identify areas where Toastmaster Hassan can further improve. So first of all, Toastmaster Hassan started with a bang, and I just loved his introduction. He adopted the participatory style, and he engaged the audience straight off. He also employed gestures with a point, which is something that a lot of Toastmasters miss out on, that they employ gestures, but this, like, he was actually pointing to the audience, and he was moving through the different sides. He was engaging the entire room, and that I really liked that about him. Another great point of his introduction was that he started with the definition of leadership. He asked the participants as well for their definition, and that also got them involved in his topic. His own definition, I loved it. It's someone who actually brings out the best in others, and this theme was consistent throughout his speech, which I think was exemplary, is at having a consistent theme actually brings a great impactful speech to the audience. He's a natural storyteller. Again, he employed a story to illustrate his point straight off. It's not very easy to tell a great story, but he had dialogues, he had pauses, and the story was powerful because it had an excellent conclusion in which Toastmaster Hassan actually described his path of becoming a leader. Then he chose some very good leadership styles, democratic style, authoritative, and transformational. I loved his choice of leadership styles. And I liked how he also gave examples of where these leadership styles are employed. That really helps the audience to imagine the content. It's not just theoretical, but they can actually imagine themselves in that situation. His transition to his own leadership style was wonderful, transformational. He mentions that leadership style, and then he moves on to explain that in fact that is the style that he adopts, and he that again ties in with the definition of leadership that he gave at the beginning. Just a couple of things that I would like to mention where I think he can further improve his impact is that I feel that he was really trying hard to have a great stage presence, and it's wonderful, but moving too much can also distract the audience. I think that maybe if you would just relax your body language a bit and again move with have gestures that move with a point. So if you are making one point, then move to one side of the room, make the point, and then move to the center, then move to the right. You don't have to move continuously. Secondly, his hands sometimes became clasped. I think that also I do that sometimes to remember what I had to say, but you can try and keep open hands. And even when you're pointing to the audience, it's better to keep open hand palms. That's more friendly like. At the end, the conclusion I felt was a little bit abrupt. You could conclude with a great quotation to a great speech that would have really created impact to a wonderful structure, content structure, excellent. Keep it up, Toastmaster Hassan.
For the feedback on Toastmasters Club. Here comes the third prepared speaker, and who was Toastmaster Hamza Shahid. To evaluate his speech, let me invite none other than our amazing president, Toastmaster Hassan.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. My fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and Toastmaster Hamza. Even I was a BBPR of Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club. I didn't know about many aspects of PR, what I have learned from you today. One of the best things I observed in your speech was it was perfectly structured. Like you were going from one room to another room to the third room. Like you started with the definition of what is public relation. Then you moved on to Facebook. Then you moved on to YouTube. Then you moved on to Instagram, sharing different aspects of different social media platforms. And you concluded brilliant. Another good thing I observed in your speeches, you find clarity. Now raise your hands, anyone, but who is unable to listen. No one. If anyone is sitting at the end of the room, he can listen. So our job as an Toastmaster comes up. But as our YouTube sensation, Toastmaster Humayun says, what is the biggest movement in this world? Room of improvement. Room for improvement. So there is a room for improvement for you. In my humble opinion, you could have improved your voice space. For instance, you said that you have to do, you have to update it. You could have said that. You have to do, you have to update it. And then you could have to pause. So you could have improved your voice space. Another thing I would like to suggest is, Hamza, be energetic. And what I will recommend you is don't do the speech. Read the speech. So that will allow the audience to listen. So increase your energy level in your next speech. And my recommendation, what I will recommend you is that imagine it is said that dance like no one is watching you. So deliver a speech like no one is listening to you. And you are just delivering the speech. So that's my recommendation for you. Another minor observation, that is very minor. And you said thank you at the end. Most of the speakers, including you, used to thank at the end. The public speaker conduct says don't thanks in the end because it should be the audience who should be thankful to you for the list. So overall, Hamza, wonderful speech. Absolutely looking forward.
Feedback on Toastmaster Hamza's speech. Tyler, and all evaluators qualified. Okay, thank you very much. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please vote for the guest evaluators. And the evaluators were Toastmaster Rakesh, Toastmaster Meher Tanveer, Toastmaster Akash, and Toastmaster Atif. Victory is Rabia. While voting,
The virtual audience can vote in the chat box. Please note we are including your votes.
while you are voting, can we have reports from role players? Daniel, can you please present your vote? Okay.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster. Now the time to evaluate now the time is for recording. Numbers where we spent 1 minute and 51 seconds. Salman spent 1 minute and 11 seconds. Abdul Aziz spent 55 seconds. Daniel spent 1 minute and 11 seconds. 11 seconds. Toastmaster Michal she spent 1 minute and 4 seconds. He spent 1 minute and 12 seconds. Just he spent 1 minute and 18 seconds. Our Toastmaster Hassan, he spent 1 minute and 16 seconds. Our Toastmaster Meher, he spent 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Our Toastmaster Akhtar, he spent 54 seconds only. Our speakers are they spent their time. Toastmaster Shoaib, he spent 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Our Toastmaster Hassan, he spent 6 minutes and 27 seconds. Our Toastmaster Hamza, he spent 7 minutes and 29 seconds. And our evaluator, Rashid, he spent 4 minutes and 3 seconds. Atif, he spent 3 minutes and 1 second. Our Toastmaster Meher, he spent 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Our Toastmaster Akash, he spent 3 minutes and 20 seconds to evaluate our speakers and table topic speakers.
now we have our half sponsor. Can you please go from here and present the report?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
In the table topic section, Toastmaster the mass count of our user R is 8, Salman 0, PM Danyal 2, PM Mission 0, PM Shoaib 1, Omar Hussain next 4, Hassan PM Hassan 0, PM Meher Tanveer 1. PM Atif 1. In the debate speeches session, PM Grant used the sound twice, 2, Asmakar 2, and Hamza Shahid 2.
during the evaluation session. PM Rashid, who were the song art twice, two. PM Adit, two. PM Meher, only once. And PM Akash, zero.
Now we have our grammarian, Toastmaster Bashar. Can you please share the report?
Thank you, so much, Toastmaster. There was one primary problem during table topics, and that was the usage of the and and. And is supposed to be said before roles, A, E, I, O, U, and before every other aspect. There were some good usage of phrases like an apple a day keeps doctor away, 2 apples a day keeps 2 doctors away. Was delivered speeches like no one's listening. Thank you.
Well, those and yes. Now the last part of this is evaluation of the meeting in general. Let me quickly go through some good points as well as some points to be considered in the future. How many of you enjoyed today's meeting? Thank you very much. Okay. We started off our meeting a bit late. We were 5 minutes late from the scheduled time, which is okay because of certain reasons. And then Sergeant Arm, she kicked off the meeting very well through virtual presence. It was a good start. And then our great president delivered his presidential speech. It was so thought-provoking and fruitful. Thank you very much for your speech. And then we had Toastmaster of the evening, Sadian. It was very amazing start. You managed the whole meeting very well. It was a good one. Give him a round of applause. Session was wonderful as usual. It was an innovation, creativity from the table topics master. It was wonderful. Initially, we were a bit confused at how to go about the approach in terms of choosing the topic from the table topics. And how it went well. Moving on to our prepared speakers deliver their speeches based on their prescribed and relevant topics from their effective pathway. And then followed by evaluators. It was a wonderful evaluation session. All evaluators provided their feedback. It was fruitful, invaluable, and amazing for our improvement in the future for all speakers. Overall, the meeting so far doing well, and very few points for future consideration. For example, the time management. We need to be very careful in terms of time management. Since we started off our meeting 5 minutes late, it was 7 minutes late when we were in the previous meeting. So we are going back 2 minutes. I mean, please be on time so that we can start our meeting right at 4:30. Be here 10 minutes before. I try my best to be here 5 minutes before or 10 minutes before. So be on time so that the meeting can start on time. We had a little problem with the voice. The voice was not clear during the table topic session. When the table topics master, she came up with an innovative approach, but the voice was not clear. So everyone, I think, we were a bit confused what we are going to do with the topics. democratic session. So if you have a big speaker, so everyone can clearly hear the voice of the virtual audience, and for both sides. And one more suggestion, if anyone use the word PM for Toastmasters, please avoid it, because Toastmasters is something else than PM. PM means trademark. So university, so in international Toastmasters says Toastmasters. So now onwards, we all are Toastmasters, not TMs, right? Thank you. So this was the graduation session. So overall, we all enjoyed our meeting. All events were undertaken as per the scheduled time. So a round of applause for all of us. So now I'm going to hand over this meeting to our President, Toastmaster Akash.
Thank you, Toastmaster, not TM. I have a few announcements to make. As Toastmaster Hassan made a movement of having a table topic and evaluation session on Sunday, 29 November. So we are going to have a table topic and evaluation session virtually online via Zoom on 29 November from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So you all are requested to participate. I had another announcement to make. We are going to have an evaluation session. So tomorrow we are going to have an education session from the National Evaluation Champion Toastmaster Anil Peter. That will be and that will be from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So you all are requested to join that session as well to have insights of how to give an effective evaluation. So, Toastmaster Daniel, those three. Okay, so you can vote for the big three, and meanwhile we can have comments from the guests. Sir, can you please repeat me, please? Okay, big three were Toastmaster Daniel, Toastmaster Rabia, and Toastmaster Salman. So you can vote for these three. You have 1 minute to vote for the big three, and the virtual audience can vote in the chat box. So meanwhile, we can have comment from the guests. Sir, can you please share your point of view on today's Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club? You can come on the stage.
It's a great experience today. We enjoyed and learned a lot. I think that many of you started from the very beginning, initial stage, stage right, and I'm going to the same thing. Just started our job, we have some presentation now, and the way I have engaged everyone in this session in performing and then commenting and evaluating. It's an amazing way to improve all of us with everything we do. And I mean, how something sounds really matters a lot. And about the moving and carrying the stage, I see a lot of potential. Inshallah, I think I'll definitely improve a lot in that stage.
Okay, Toastmaster Daniel, results ready? So, okay, you can have.
will we also have a regular meeting the next Saturday?
Yes, we will be having a regular meeting at the same time, but on Sunday we are going to have another meeting into the company.
Yeah.
So we will be sharing the next month plan with you very soon. And another thing that I would like to say that we are also making some code of conduct regarding the meeting etiquettes. For example, if we are having meetings, so if you want to say something, then I will recommend that we will provide you some slips, write it on the slips, and pass it on to whom you want to say something. Because the thing is that when the person is on stage and you are speaking, so he may got distracted. So to avoid something. Another thing I would like to suggest that please don't say thank you at the end of the speech. Once again, because we have to implement the quality in our class. We have to make our club of international standards. And the international public speaker says that it should be the audience who should be thankful to you. Because you are giving some message, you are giving something to them. We should be, for example, Toastmaster Hamza gave beautiful insight of fear. So we should be thankful. So the results are very okay. So the best ever topic speaker award goes to any guesses? Speaker award goes to Toastmaster Vishal.
Great, wonderful.
Thank you. And the best prepared speaker award goes to Toastmaster Hassan Akram.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Toastmaster. And the best evaluator award goes to Toastmaster
Congratulations.
and the big tree award goes to what's your guess? Rabia one.
Salman.
Sport was great, and the award goes to Toastmaster.
Wow, bhai, wow, zabardast. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Sana.
Great.
And see you, inshallah, next week. Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
The winners can hold. First picture with mask.
And who was the picture with mask?
Very
Okay, you can come and you can say. Okay, one without mask. Now you get we can smile. सांस रोक के खड़े हो जैसे कि Thank you.